Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Bath City Radio for today's Vanarama National League South clash between Eastbourne Borough and Bath City, live from Priory Lane. I'm Mark Stillman, commentating throughout with Michael Powell on summarising duties. It's a scorcher on the south-east coast as the Romans look to shine against the Sports, who got their campaign off to a flyer last week. They gained a mini-revenge on Oxford City, who knocked them out in the playoffs back in May by storming into a 3-0 lead inside half an hour at Marsh Lane, where Clady Lawless's consolation was all the hosts could offer as DaveAV's men showed much promise. City, meanwhile, suffered their annual loss to Dartford, where there wasn't much in it at Twerton Park against their hoodoo side. Today they're at a ground where they've suffered just one defeat under Jerry Gill, but that was their last visit in March when Borough deservedly won 2-0. Michael, Eastbourne have largely kept with the side that served them so well last season. Do you think that's a wise move?
Well, good evening, good afternoon even, Mark. Good afternoon to everyone listening in. I think it is a wise move. Eastbourne Borough had a fantastic season last season. They did pretty well the year before, which, as we've talked about, was a bit of a strange season, ultimately null and voided, but they were going well. And actually, if you've got that consistency, you've got that positivity, they've clearly got a good group together, really impressive under DaveAV. Like, why wouldn't you try and keep that together? You're going to have people moving on, lost a couple of the loanies, of course, but outside of that, it makes sense. And yeah, I think they've done the right thing, and we're only one game in, but a 3-1 victory out Oxford City last Saturday would certainly suggest they've done the right thing so far.
Do you think this City team is a better one on paper than the last to visit this venue?
Unfortunately, football's not played on paper. It's played on grass or 3G as we are this afternoon. But yes, I think they are. I think there's a couple of reasons for that. I think the squad is stronger. Spoke about it last week. Tom Smith and Scott Wilson being on the bench. It feels like Bath City have got options on the bench this year. They didn't have that last season, and they didn't have that when they came to Eastbourne Borough in March. So, no, I think they are certainly in a better place than they were 4 or 5 months ago, but that doesn't mean it's going to be any easier this afternoon. It's still going to be a very tough test against a very decent Eastbourne Borough side. And the teams have now made their entrance here at Priory Lane. I'll go through these starting lineups, starting with the hosts, who are unchanged from last week's win at Oxford City. So in goal is Lee Morgan. The back four of right to left is right back Jake Elliott, centre backs of Alex Winton, Mitch Dickinson, with Kai Innocent left back. The holding midfielders are James Hammond and James Vaughan. The three attacking midfielders, Shiloh Remy making his home debut alongside Chris Weltdale and Leon Gravata, and then Greg Lure is up top on his own. The substitutes for Eastbourne, again the same as last week, Charlie Walker, Simo Mbonkwe, Mikel Scarlett, Jake Hutchinson and Finn Holter. Bath City wearing their very dapper new navy blue and light blue away stripes. 4-2-3-1 for them as well, the one change from last week. In goal is Joe Wright. A back four of Joe Rains, Jordan Dyer, Kieran Parcell and Dan Greenslade back in for his second debut. Holding midfielders of Chris Lines and Luke Spokes. Three attacking midfielders of Alex Fletcher, Dan Hayfield and Elliot Freer, playing behind Cody Cook, who's making his 50th appearance at Bath City today. On the bench of Bath City, Jack Batten, Tom Smith, Ryan Clark, Scott Wilson and Zach Bell. That means there's no room for Rex Mannings or Tommy Backwell. The officials, the referee is Robert Ablett, who is taking charge of his first National League South game. He'll be assisted by Joel Lamping and Nick Blogg. Bath City are about to get this game underway. Spokes over the top of the ball. He checks that everything is in order. Robert Ablett, it's a big moment for him as well after a few years refereeing the lower leagues. And away we go. Spokes goes back to Lines, inside his own half. Right-footed floated ball over to the left, where Fletcher is beaten in the air. Now Hayfield, out to Rains again on the right, to inside the Eastbourne half, back to Lines. In space, squares it to Spokes. Slight miscontrol, but he's got time to address himself, and he's managed to find Greenslade in room on the left-hand side. To Freer down the left, tries to pull it across. He's still got it, Freer, inside the penalty area, right-footed shot, and it's gathered by goalkeeper Morgan. Very positive start for the Romans. They've had a shot on target inside the opening minute. I'll say they've started pretty well here, the opening 4 minutes. Still That's a couple of times they've got Elliot Freer in down the left as well. That seems to be their main outlet.
But it's right look for Eastbourne Borough as lures onto it. What a challenge that is from Joe Rains, who almost tackled him from behind, but he won the ball so cleanly as Hammond has the ball under control. A crossfield ball over to the left-hand side where Dickinson does well. Innocent does well to knock it on. Fletcher doing some defensive duties. He manages to find Rains. He's robbed though from Innocent on the left-hand side, approaching the penalty area. Good footwork. cutting inside, keeping his balance, tries to play the ball across. It's all very messy in there, and in the end it ricochets behind for a corner, but all the persistence of Kai Innocent nearly rewarded there. Short option offered from Remy. It's a whipped one towards the back post. 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗦 completely unmarked, it's cleared off the... No! Lines of dragon, it's a goal, it's gone in. 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗦's header wasn't fully cleared, the assistant was perfectly placed. The defending was atrocious, he was completely unmarked at the far post. An awful goal to concede. 7 minutes, Eastbourne 1, Bar City 0.
Bar City complaining where the ball was over the line, but they've only got themselves to blame. As you said, deep to the far post, and Chris 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗏 was in about 3 yards of space. Nobody anywhere near him. It actually wasn't the best header back across goal. Deflected off a Bar City shirt, and as they tried to clear it off the line, linesman is the one his line. He's got a much better view than we do. It judged it was over the line.
Well, Eastbourne have scored 4 goals this season, and they haven't had to work for any of them, frankly. Is now ball over the top. Cook is onside inside the penalty area. Wider goal though. He's been forced wide. He needs support in the middle. Still Cook. There was one ball from the back. He's going towards the byline. Plays it across. It's touched in. Bar City have equalised. It looks like Fletcher got the final touch. What a start to this game we have had. It was all from the ball forward from the back initially. Cook, good patience, played it across. A simple tap in 9 minutes. Eastbourne 1, Bar City 1.
Well, superb work by Cody Cook. One ball over the top, held it up really well. Could have pulled the trigger earlier, he didn't panic. He kept his cool, waited for support to arrive, got to the byline, pulled it across goal. It's another one where I'm not sure he got the final touch. I wonder if the final touch was actually off a defender. It could be another own goal, but Cody Cook did all the good work there, and he's got his side straight back on level terms, and after conceding that soft goal at the other end, it's just what Bar City needed.
He joined just over 2 years ago from Lewis. 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏 on the left-hand side, chips it forward to Greenslade, near the byline, should keep it in play, he does play it across, but it's too close to goalkeeper Morgan. Dickinson's underneath. Careful he doesn't blind himself looking into the sun, clearing it. It's now picked up near the edge of the box from Spokes. Lines takes over and shoots his block. It's out to Spokes again, 20 yards out. Finds Free in a lot of room, Bar City having Joy out wide. He plays it across towards the back post. Fletcher with a header, it's deflected. It always gathered in the end from Morgan. It came off the thigh of Dickinson. We could have potentially had a possible 3 own goals in the first 14 minutes. To Hayfield on the right-hand side, inside the Eastbourne half. Reigns again to Fletcher. He's lost out to 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗏𝗏 on this game, but he easily won back. Fletcher is foul. Referee plays advantage. Cook's got it on his right. Cook with a shot goes a couple of yards wide, and I think City would prefer them to go back to the free kick. It's chipped free kick from Greenslade to Cook down the channel near the corner quadrant. He's looking for Freer behind him. Goes back to Greenslade instead. Now inside to Spokes near the edge of the box. Spokes with a low shot, and it's comfortably gathered from the goalkeeper. Over the top for 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I thought it was offside. He's managed to get the ball before Dyer. Plays it back to 𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Now Innocent on the left-hand side. Drills a low one. 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's just about got there. Dyer scramble clear. Not very good though. As 𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 takes a deflection and it goes out of play for another corner. Hammond's going to take it. Similar delivery, and he's put it to the spot. It's a foul on Winter. I must admit, I was watching the ball, but Winter went down off the ball, tussling with one of the City players. It's a penalty to Eastbourne, and they are lethal from these corners because Hammond now has an opportunity to put them 2-1 up. He does this time. Hammond against Wright. Hammond steps up, shoots, goes down the middle, Wright dives to his left. Eastbourne Borough 2, Bar City 1. We'll have a drinks break.
Good penalty by Hammond, just took his time, waited for Wright to dive one way and slotted it calmly down the middle, but I have to say, 2 corner kicks, 2 goals, 2 really soft goals to concede for Bar City, and Jerry Gill will be really frustrated because his side have played a lot of good football in this opening quarter, and yet they find themselves 2-1 behind.
Lines to take this free kick, just a one-man wall for Eastbourne, just near the corner of the penalty area. It's on the Bar City right. Lines floats it in to Dyer, and I think it came off his back, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. But again, the marking was pretty poor. The Eastbourne back line. It's now with Elliott, right back. Up to 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, shows good control. Plays it back to Hammond with a whipped ball over to the left-hand side. It was a nice one actually. 𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's onto it on the left. Faced up from Reigns, cuts inside near the corner of the penalty area. Gets a ball in. 𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's header, it's in! 3-1 to Eastbourne Borough. They swapped the play over from one side to the other. The ball was whipped back in. Chris 𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, a perfect header right into the bottom corner. Wright was helpless. 32 minutes, Eastbourne 3, Bar City 1.
Well, talking about maybe the first two being soft to concede, that's a brilliantly worked goal from Eastbourne Borough. As you said, switching it from right to left. You talked about the one-on-ones being important at the start of the game. You have to say 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗏's got the better of Reigns on that occasion. Chopped back onto his right foot, delivered a wicked cross in. 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗏 just arriving perfectly to glance it into the far corner, but the delivery from 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗏 was absolutely superb. Put it on a plate for the midfielder.
Throws it to 𝗚𝗏, back to Greenslade, back to 𝗚𝗏 again on the left. Spokes behind him, he's got a little bit of room. Watch from Hammond, now into Greenslade. Turns away from his man, now to Spokes near the byline. This is good from Borough City. Spokes, first time ball across is blocked from Elliott and goes up play for a City corner. Goes towards the near post, he's headed over, I think it was Fletcher, and he goes up play for a goal kick. Into inside his own half, up to Fletcher. Nice from City. Hayfield turns inside of Hammond now, approaching the penalty area, the edge of the box. He plays it across now to 𝗚𝗏. 𝗚𝗏's watched, he shoots, good save from Morgan, it was near post. Lightning reflexes from the 38-year-old, he puts it behind for a corner. 𝗚𝗏 with this corner, it's a hanging one, looking for Dyer at the back post, heads against an Eastbourne head. Not fully cleared, it is now though, from 𝗚𝗚, although it's got more height than distance. Almost entirely height. Now to Lines near the edge of the box. Oh, he could have fancied a shot, instead he's played it out to 𝗚𝗏 in room on the left-hand side. Brings it under control. Watch from Hammond, needs support. Cuts inside, still 𝗚𝗏. Now to Lines again, out wide to Spokes. Too close to the goalkeeper, I think. Oh, goalkeeper, a little bit suspect with it. He decided to punch it over his own crossbar. He goes out of play for another corner. Packed penalty area, Reigns towards the 6-yard box, where it's headed away from Dickinson. That's the final action of a remarkable first half, which got off to a flyer. Chris Whelpdale heading in after 7 minutes. His header was adjudged to have crossed the line from an eagle-eyed assistant. Borough City were back on level terms within 2 minutes when Cody Cook provided Alex Fletcher to get off the mark for the season with a tap-in almost on the line. Right to make sure his wall is in position. No, it's Hammond, in fact, right-footed. Oh, I think goalkeeper got a touch. Splendid save from right. He had to throw himself at it, and it's behind for a corner.
And that was the first goal of the three as well, wasn't it?
It was. Anyway, it's chipped over from Hayfield near the edge of the 6-yard box. Cook challenging, Winter can't get there. It's now Spokes. That's a handy ball back in towards the far post. It's back in. Borough City have scored. Dyer gets a touch. It was a useful ball back in. Very useful ball back in from Spokes. Goalkeeper missed the flight of it. Jordan Dyer gets enough to touch it in at the back post. 52 minutes. Eastbourne 3, Borough City 2.
Talked about it in the first half. Set pieces causing chaos at both ends this afternoon. There, Eastbourne didn't really deal with it. First ball came to Spokes. He just hooked it back in. Morgan completely misjudged it, and Jordan Dyer, to his credit, he was the one alert at the far post to turn it in.
And cleared from Reigns. And the ball back in was useful. It was put into a good area. Goalkeeper, I'd say, is a bit of fault. He's missed it.
Oh, he's 100% at fault. He's completely misjudged it. He's gone out to try and claim it. He's completely misjudged it. It's gone over him, and Dyer, to his credit, was alert.
Hayfield now running forward, squares it to Cook, 30 yards out. He's got plenty of Eastbourne players around him. And he goes for an audacious shot. It sat up nicely for him. Fletcher screaming that he was in room on the right-hand side. It would have been something special had Cook kept that down. He's put it a couple of yards over and out of the ground. Reigns takes it to Hayfield.
I think it was right in front of us. I think they just about got it right.
To Cook. Now Hayfield tries to take over. Good covering though from Whelpdale, who slips. He's near his own goal. He plays a very risky pass across his own 6-yard box to Elliott. That was calmer than I would have been in that situation. And Elliott drives forward, given away though to Lines. Now Spokes. Eastbourne are looking a little bit nervy since Borough City have pulled the goal back. Looking for Greenslade to make an overlapping run. Up to 𝗚𝗏 now, side of the penalty area, turned Hammond, chips a useful one. Oh, he was helped away. Now Reigns has gone down, penalty surely it is. 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗛𝗏 on Reigns, went through the back of him. That looked very clear cut to me. Borough City have a golden opportunity to get back on level terms.
Definite penalty. It's just really clumsy from 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗛𝗏. He's the wrong side of Reigns. He can't afford to make a challenge, and any contact on the Borough City man, he's going to go down. That's what he does. Clips his heels. And Borough City have a chance to get themselves back on level terms.
Cook normally has a little wait before he takes it as well. Eyes up his options. He looks at the goalkeeper. He waits. Eyes up his options, as we said. He jigs, he takes it, he scores! Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, his favoured side. The goalkeeper dives to his right. Cody Cook confidently rolls it to his left. Borough City are back on level terms. Eastbourne 3, Borough City 3.
Superbly taken penalty by Cody Cook. Calm, relaxed, sends the keeper the wrong way into the bottom corner. No chance for Lee Morgan. We said just before half-time, Bar City was still well in this game with the chance they've created. They've proved it. Just over an hour gone, back to 3-3, and you feel like there's more goals in this game.
Oh, absolutely. And Bar City can now improve their defensive display. Who's to say they're not going to turn this around and pick up their first 3 points of the season rather than just the 1. Good covering from Powell, who played in a draw here last season, of course.
You feel they don't want to leave themselves exposed, of course, Bar City, but you do feel like they need to continue pressing and be on the front foot.
𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗦 trying to make amends for his error, now charging through the middle. He slipped. Oh, he's just behind Hutchinson, fortunately, for Bar City, otherwise he would have been in, and Fletcher is back there to clear. As 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗦 escapes Spokes whilst being held a little bit. The referee plays a good advantage. 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗏 to Remy on halfway. Hammond. Greensay went through his man off the ball, 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗏. And might receive a word. First yellow, that's about the only thing this game hasn't had. He's going to apologise as well, the Welshman. 67 minutes in on his Bar City second debut. It's now with Hammond and pulling the strings. Goes for another long ball forward. It's picked up from 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗏. 𝗛𝗛𝗚 could be in the right, is there on the edge of his penalty area to gather. City temporarily down to 10 men. He's been looking to exploit it with Innocent on the left-hand side, charging down the Bar City right, where Spokes is filling in. It's now 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗏 on the left, turning inside off Spokes. Clips it to the back post. Oh, an important glancing header away from Greensay. Bar City would just hope they tighten up a bit defensively, and they have been a bit better than they were the first half, as set pieces were their undoing, as Innocent runs onto his own loose touch and gets away from Fletcher. Perhaps he shouldn't have done. It's now down the left-hand side, still Innocent. A low ball across, right doesn't come for it. It's picked up from Hutchinson at the near post. Back to 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗏, edge of the penalty area. 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗏 shoots, great block from Chris Lyons, and it deflects back out of harm's way. Fletcher heads it back to Freer on the left-hand side. Fletcher's making a run on the left. He's got it now, Fletcher. Overlapping the Freer on the left-hand side. Plays it back, headed away from Dickinson. It had to be. It's now out to Spokes. He and Lyons nearly getting each other's way. It's back to Fletcher near the edge of penalty area. He's lost it, and Eastbourne can try and break with 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗏. Gave away the penalty. You get back to City, back to 3-3 here at baking hot Priory Lane. It's 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗏 over to the right-hand side to Remy. It's too high, and it goes out of play for a throw. And I think this is the opportunity for City to make the change. It's going to be Elliot Freer coming off and Scott Wilson coming on. Picked up from Spokes. Now to Wilson, first involvement, fancy footwork, gets away from Hammond, shows good strength, still Wilson, 30 yards out. He should find Fletcher on the right-hand side. He's asking a little bit of him, but Fletcher keeps it in play on the right, looking for support. Plays it back to Lyons, edge of penalty, first time ball is cleared from Dickinson, only as far as Spokes, miscontrol, shoots, good save from Morgan, low to his right.
Yeah, good save that by Morgan. Again, good build-up play from Bar City. Scott Wilson immediately involved.
Eastbourne have got every player back for this one. Just a free kick 5 yards inside Bar City half. Hayfield's over the top of it. They've got every player within around 40 yards of their own goal. Hayfield chips it near the corner of the penalty area. Cook is pushed from Dickinson. It's gone down. Fletcher plays it across. City are distracted by that, and it's cleared up to Hutchinson. They could have a break on the right side because Remy was in room, but Rain's got an important foot in. Hayfield helps it back forward near the edge of the penalty area. An awkward one. Again, Dickinson is all over Cook. This time shows good defending. Dickinson's gone down off the ball with a head injury. There was a definite shove from the Eastbourne captain. Maybe you could argue that Cook shouldn't have gone down so easily.
Oh, I think he's very, very fortunate. It's a long ball up, they're battling away, and he's got two hands in the back of Cody Cook. I mean, I was expecting the referee to point to the spot, if I'm honest. I think he's got away with one there.
Hammond picks it up. Turns away from Spokes, now to 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗏𝗏 on halfway, squares it, and Bonqui's in room in the centre of the field. Slides it on to Hutchinson near the edge of the penalty area. Bar City got men back, Hutchinson's shot is blocked. City defenders getting in each other's way, and it's cleared in the end from Dyer. Spokes heads up, he's all very congested in midfield. Cook's got time to bring it down, does nicely to Fletcher, back to Cook. Down the right, had a good game today, Cody Cook's played it behind now to Wilson on the right-hand side. He needs players in the middle, Fletcher's in there, Hayfield as well. Draws it across, it's too close to the goalkeeper who gathers. Now to Mbonqui, man introduced during the second half. Innocent on the left. Clever ball to Mbonqui, he's carried on his run down the left-hand side. 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗏𝗏's in the middle, Innocent's got there, he's trying to take the ball forward, gone down into the challenge of Cook, nothing doing, no way. That one, the referee was close by to say no penalty, but Eastbourne's still in possession with Hammond, 10 yards inside the Bar City half. Squares it to 𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗏𝗏 on the left-hand side, inside the 90th minute now, 3-3, Rains picks it up, Hayfield, nice touch to Cook, he nearly got it through to Wilson, but it was well intercepted.
As Tom Smith is going to come on for the last few minutes. Luke Spoke's the man to make way.
Lines plays it forward over the top for Wilson down the left-hand side, giving chase. Does keep it in play, turns inside to Scarlett. Floats one in. Fletcher! Oh, it's saved from Morgan. He was stretching for it. I thought that was the moment. You could tell from the tone of my voice he couldn't get full purchase, and it bounces through to the goalkeeper. Apologies for anyone listening.
He has to score. It's as simple as that. Scott Wilson has done so well. Shot back onto his right.
On the left-hand side, the ball's escaped Rains. Now 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗛𝗧𝗦. Can he turn inside? Rains is covered well. Hammond is going to take towards the back post. It's helped back across, but there's no player onto it apart from Remy, who shoots, and he somehow manages to sky it out of the ground. Bonkwin inadvertently heads it to Fletcher. Smith gets there first. Wilson is onside down the right-hand side. Smith's charging forward. Fletcher's in the middle, as is Hayfield. Wilson plays it across goal. Oh, it's cleared from Scarlett, who was there importantly, and it goes out of play for a throw. Rains to take this throw. Is there more drama to add to already excessive drama in stoppage time? Wouldn't rule it out.
Well, we've had everything else in this game.
Leans back against the hoarding, gets it towards the 6-yard box. Goalkeeper comes, doesn't go. It's in! Bow City have done it! It's Kieran Parcell! He was sent off here last season. He runs off, shirt in midair. Jerry Gill's on the pitch. Captain and manager embrace. I cannot believe this. 95 minutes. Eastbourne Borough 3, Bow City 4. A memorable afternoon on the south coast for Jerry Gill's men.
Oh, what an afternoon for Bow City. They've kept going, they've had chances in stoppage time. We thought the big one had gone from Fletcher, but far from it. Rains with a long throw, and again you have to question the keeper. Morgan's come for it, got absolutely nowhere near it. And Kieran Parcell, the new captain fantastic, rises highest, heads it into the empty net. And from 3-1 down at half-time in this game, Bath City have turned it around. They lead 4-3. What an absolutely incredible afternoon, Mark.
Jerry Gill's heart must be pounding. Mine here's here on commentary. At the moment, Bath City look like they're going to seal a sensational 3 points here.
Yeah, Wilson's going back. There's 20 players in the Bath City area.
Morgan on the edge of it. The corner's going to come in from Innocent. Chips it towards the near post. Oh, it's a free kick to Bath City. Rains was fouled on the far post. He was hauled to the floor. There's not going to be time to take it. One of the most staggering, remarkable, incredible games of football I've had the privilege to commentate on. And it got off to a flyer early on as well, which set the tone. Luke Spokes inadvertently put Eastbourne ahead on 7 minutes. It was cancelled out from another own goal, this time from home debutant Alex Winter on 9 minutes. Eastbourne retook the lead on 23, a James Hammond contentious penalty, and then they went 3-1 up on 32 minutes through Chris Whelpdale. Bath City looked down and out at the break. Whatever was said at half-time paid off. Jordan Dyer headed Bath City back in it, made it 3-2 on 52 minutes. Cody Cook calmly dispatched a penalty on 63. Alex Fletcher looked like he'd won it in stoppage time. Borough had a chance as well, and there was still time for captain fantastic Kieran Parcell on 95 minutes to get the telling header on Joe Rains's long throw to knock it into the empty net. Bath City, 20 or so fans who made the journey will not forget that afternoon here. We're going to have one heck of a journey home. Michael, can you add much more to that? Absolutely stunning.
Oh, what an afternoon. What a game of football. As we said, it had absolutely everything that much. And full credit to the Bath City players. The 11 out there, the 2 that came on, the 13 players, the management, because at 3-1 down, they were up against it. But the spirit they showed, the heart they showed in this heat, it would have been so easy to wilt, to let their head drops, but they didn't do it. They got themselves back in it early in the second half, and they kept going right to the final whistle. And I have to say, it's no less than they deserve. They were the better team for large spells of that game against an Eastbourne Borough side who finished in the playoffs last season. And to get the victory in the dying seconds is just the cherry on the top of the cake. It's the longest trip of the season, but my goodness me, they're going to enjoy their journey home, because those are the victories that you have to enjoy as a player. And well, Jerry Gill, he was enjoying that winner. I'm sure all his players will. There's a cluster of fans away behind the goals. They've enjoyed their afternoon here in East Sussex, and what a way to get their season up and running.
Thank you very much for accompanying me this afternoon, Michael. I'm sure you're glad you made the long journey, aren't you?
Oh, I said to you about 3-all injury time, didn't it? The Bath City fans will be delighted they made this long trip and it was worth it. Well, it got even better after that. And said we've seen some cracking games here. The 3-2 was pretty good. The 2-1 that you mentioned with those 2 very late goals. The 5-2 maybe less memorable, lots of goals, but yeah, this one most certainly tops the lot. It's why we keep coming back, isn't it, Mark? Games like this.
Yeah, well, with 44 games left, the heart might take a bit of a pounding, but we'll look forward to it anyway. It was fun in the sun here in this August afternoon as City recovered from 3-1 down. Captain Fantastic comes up trumps. Parcell delivers a memorable winner to a memorable afternoon. It finishes here at Priory Lane. Eastbourne Borough 3, Varsity 4. Come and tune in on Tuesday night. There could be more drama in store away at Hampton and Richmond Borough. But from me and Michael Powell here from East Sussex, a very good evening to you. We're going to go back and have a bit of a lie down, I think. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I'm sure we will here too. Good night.